Just like money compounds, I think decisions compound too. And just like money, you don't really see their effects until many years down the road. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the difference between simple interest and compound interest in money can have pretty radical effects on investment or downstream impacts. So for example, if I have simple interest and compound interest, with simple interest, I'm just growing my initial principal. The principal is the money you put in. So let's say I put in $100 and it's going to compound, it's going to grow 10%. That means every year, I'm just adding 10% of this original $100 or $10. So that means year one, I get $10, year two, $10, year three, $10. So if I look at this, at the end of 3 years of investment, I've added $30. So $30 with simple interest. With compound interest, if I have $100, let's do the same thing. Let's say I have a 10% growth rate. So the year one looks very similar. That's going to be $10. But what's different about it now is I'm going to be growing the principal plus year one. This is the compounding effect. I'm combining these two. So it's going to be a 10% of $110, or it's going to be $11. Year three is going to be 10% of $121, or $12.1. So my sum here is actually going to be 33.1. Now it's only a $3 and some change difference, but you can see at bigger scale and at a longer time frame, these decisions have pretty profound consequences. So skipping into the micro here, you can see actually year two, there's not a lot of difference. But year three, the difference between year two and year three is north of 300%. $1 change versus a $3 change, over 300% difference. Now what I've found, I'm about to turn 30, so this is based on my own last 10 years of experience, is people going through life make decisions and you don't make a decision, which can be a decision in and of itself. And what feels like small investments or small decisions actually compound and have big consequences over time that you can't see in the first few years. So here's what I mean by that. So here's me and my cohort of friends. This is everyone I went to high school with. Now, for the most part, the exception like people went to military or trade schools, for the most part, most of our group went on to university or college afterwards to some degree, some sort of higher education. So this is high school us. Our lives are very similar in high school. We go to prom, we have extracurriculars, we do homework. It's not that different from my life to my neighbor's life. Of course, there's going to be the obvious differences, but the routines we go about our day with are not that different. What we spend most of our time doing, seeing as we're spending most of our time in school or in sports, is not going to be that different. Now, we're going to make decisions about where to go to university. So some people go to California, some people go to Arizona, some people go to New York or somewhere, maybe even international. Now, even here, I don't think our lives are that different. We're still doing pretty much the same stuff. We're signing up for new classes, we're studying, we're meeting new people, we're finding new hobbies, new interests, trying to find what major suits us best. What do we want to study? And even within those studies, interdisciplinary hobbies, it's going to be about the same with marginal differences, I think, in maybe studying habits, but it's really going to be from a broad stroke perspective, the routines will be the same. You're going to be going to class, you're going to be studying, you're going to be socializing. So even though our decisions have diverged a little bit, for the most part, our consequences aren't shaping that drastically different realities for us today. But again, these decisions, though so important at the time, have big impacts down the road. So you'll see people now, based on these decisions, maybe they meet a spouse or they switch careers from something they thought they would have liked in high school, and now they're doing something different. this is where I see decisions start to diverge even more. So something as simple as choosing where you go to school can have consequences you didn't think of down the road because it's a smaller decision at the time and it doesn't look that different from your friends, but those things compound over time. And these replicate year after year after year. So maybe your friend gets a good job, but his career stalls out. Or your friend gets a great job and he just kills it. He's going to have a very different career. He's going to have a very different life. His day-to-day is going to look different. His year-to-year is going to look different. His family structure is going to look different. So I think like post-college world in the decade after, that's where you really start to see the consequences, both good and bad, of all of the decisions you make here. So not to put any pressure on anyone who's thinking about where do I go to college or where do I study, because I think the worst thing you can do is all of these people have to go somewhere. It's better to be in charge of where you want to go and make conscious decisions working towards a goal, because those decisions will compound and you can work that towards your benefit. If you know what you want to do or where you want to be or what you don't want to do even, you can make decisions away from that thing or towards the thing you want. And even if it doesn't look like you're making progress towards it, you just have to do small incremental steps towards it, and those will compound over time. Just little things that compound. Just like the money investments, a simple interest graph looks like this. A compound interest one looks like this. It looks the same in the beginning, but down the road, it's going to keep growing. So I think consequences compound, just like money. If you disagree or agree, let me know in the comments. Love to hear your take.